That is amazing.
Wait, hold on. Why is there 5 people in the intro? There's only 4 of us. Who's this Adrian person?
Listen, we have contracts that we can't get out of, right? So we're gonna have to live with it. It's your fault.
I need Adrian to come back to do some freaking video.
It's how you can't really kick out the founder of the company.
Wait. When did he found this company?
Listen,
who's this person we're talking
all
about?
I know is by the time I was here, there was already 3 people in this podcast, and then Josh and I just kind of forced our way in here.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Adrian's been on since the 2nd episode, so.
Adrian, come back. We love you. Come.
I try to get him to come and jump into the comments.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We need. I don't even know how to entice him. We need to do that War of the Realms episode we've been talking about for years.
Oh, I know.
Years,
or just
Jesus.
a full-on Jason Aaron episode.
Yeah. But all right. Speaking of that, good segue into comics. Well done, Clay.
Or Saga. He's reading Saga right now too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, maybe we can do like a celebration when it comes back.
Yes, we must. That'd be great.
And then I have to wait another 6 months for 6 issues to pile up into a trade because that's how I read it.
Oh, well, that too. But also, I mean, it's been more than a year. We're on 2 years now, right? I mean, it's been a while. So,
all right. So before we go into our previously on next issue, today it's kind of a special show. We have a few topics that are very specific to the people that are in the podcast, really. But hopefully you guys will find them interesting overall. So we're gonna talk about the Dallas Comic Show that happened on June 26th.
Me yesterday.
Well, I don't know when people are watching this. I'm trying to make evergreen content, Kyle. But yes, in Louisville at the Music City Hall.
Mall.
This was our the Music City Mall. And then we'll also be talking about the latest installment in the Fast and Furious franchise, F9. And then I don't know, Josh, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm just here to make facial expressions in everything you guys say.
Oh,
so.
I guess at the end of the previously on, is everybody caught up on Loki? We're all 3.
Yes. I have to say, my daughter is obsessed with it because it's so good, and so she insists. Like Tuesday night, she's like, "Tomorrow's Wednesday, we get to watch Loki." So
Perfect.
yeah, I'm totally caught up.
So at the end of the previews, before we go on to our main topic, we'll just do a quick discussion of Loki episode 3. I think there's a lot to discuss after this episode.
Ooh, yeah.
But we'll give you plenty of spoiler warning. So who wants to kick us off? Well, I guess we're doing it in order now, so I'll go first, and then go clockwise to maintain some semblance of order in this podcast.
You crazy bastard. Yeah.
Chaos is what rules this podcast. So this week I read Batman Reptilian #1. This is a new book by Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp. I did a full review of this. You can find that on the channel. I will say the thing that I love the most about this book is Liam Sharp's introduction. So this book was originally written and intended for Steve Dillon to illustrate. Now, unfortunately, Steve Dillon passed away before this project could get going. And Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon have worked on many projects that are probably some of our favorite things. Preacher, the Punisher run, like all this stuff. But I like it. Yeah, lights off better.
But so dark in here.
So yeah, I was excited because I didn't know that going into the book, but then I read that and it just kind of got me more excited about it. And I can definitely see the content of this book being drawn by Steve Dillon, and I'm like, oh no. But Leon Sharp is doing an amazing job. He's actually doing. It looks like he's painting it, like he's doing like actual paintings, and then I guess pictures are taken of. I don't know how the art's scanned, but it looks like it's all painted. It's a very different take on Batman because he's more out there in the world, like he's outside of a courthouse and talking to the criminals. Like he's kind of like out in the middle of everything instead of just kind of being lurking behind the shadows. Obviously Garth Ennis is writing this, so it's really gruesome and violent. And Batman is super imposing in this. So I don't know where the reptilian part comes from. We have, I guess, slight spoiler: a few of Batman's enemies get like murdered violently.
Nice.
And
I mean, I guess
one
name.
Scarecrow and Penguin are the
Whoa.
ones. Yeah. So
Damn.
Batman spends the rest of the issue just talking to a low-level thug, and I mean talking like Batman talking, where he's holding you on the roof, ready to drop you. But yeah,
which is the only way Batman holds conversations. Actually, it's really awkward at dinner parties.
It's really good. I'm enjoying it. It's Black Label, so obviously expect the level. Yeah, Black Label and Garth Ennis is like they were meant for each other. Next, I read Infinite Frontier, but I'm gonna save that for when Kyle talks about it. We'll just discuss it then.
Yeah.
I also read Checkmate #1 by Brian Bendis and Alex Maleev. This just kind of continues with the characters they've been working on since the Event Leviathan stuff. It's fine. The book's fine. It's a Bendis book, so if you like Bendis and Maleev, I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, but is it Bendis Maleev Daredevil level or?
I don't think so. I don't know that this will be at least this issue that I read. I think the Event Leviathan stuff has been interesting because of the cast of characters. Like you have a lot of you have the old Manhunter and then the new Manhunter and the Question, Green Arrow, Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I read that book too. I know you're
the
Checkmate book. The Checkmate book.
Yeah.
I mean, those sound like perfect Bendis characters.
They do, but I feel like at some point everyone starts kind of sounding the same. That was my only issue, that they all like everyone's so. It feels like everyone's so clever and witty, where I don't feel like the Question would be somebody that would be bantering around.
Well, and it was a question. It was a male, it wasn't female, if I'm not mistaken. It was like.
Yeah, this is not Renee Montoya either, so like, I don't know what's going on. But I wanted to check it out because it's a #1. So
but we're not going to get any more of it because it was a book that was previously meant for the backstory.
Yeah. I also read Gamma Flight #1 by Al Ewing, Crystal Fraser, and Lan Medina. This is spinning out of the pages of Immortal Hulk. A few of the people from Alpha Flight, mainly, I guess Puck and Sasquatch, are now part of this team. This book is also like it's gruesome, like it's fucked up.
Good. I was gonna subscribe to it, but I wasn't sure, where it was in the story. If I could pick it up and read it.
It's good enough for you. It's a good entry point, like even if you're not caught up with Immortal Hulk. But you have to at least have some knowledge of like what's happening in like at the beginning of Immortal Hulk.
Yeah,
at least know that part.
The first run, read the first trade.
Yeah, just the first trade probably. But I mean, read the whole thing. Immortal Hulk's really good.
Oh yeah.
And then the last book I read. I read a bunch of X-Men books. Way of X.
Of course you did.
#3, Wolverine #13. But the one I want to talk about is Sword #6 by Al Ewing and Valerio Schiti. This was one of the best. Like, it was the best X-Men book I read this week for sure. So much is happening. This is also part of the Hellfire Gala stuff, but Al Ewing is doing so much cool stuff with the cosmic stuff and the X-Men working with other races and stuff. I feel like they may be working to, how there's mutants in other alien races. There's also mutants.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that may come into play at some point, where like all the cosmic mutants around everywhere,
like Kree mutants and
like how Brood,
mutants.
like Brood from the little Brood is
Is Shi'ar in them? Are they mutants or just aliens?
No, they're just aliens.
Okay.
Yeah,
but there should be mutants among them.
There could be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's a really cool thing where they name the regent of planet Araco. I won't spoil that because if you guys are reading it, it's a really cool, like, oh, it's so cool. And then we also see Wanda, which we haven't seen in a while, interact with the X-Men. And she has a conversation with Magneto.
Yeah, I liked that. I did see that.
Oh, it was awesome. And I think this is gonna lead into the trial of Magneto. And maybe have a family reunion with, even though they're not family, like even though they're not related.
No. I'll give a premonition right now. They're gonna retcon that bullshit back.
You think they're gonna make them?
Quicksilver and Wanda are gonna be his kids again within the year. I'll guarantee it.
I feel it would be more of a. Well, I mean, I guess they could go with the message of like, we don't have to be related to be family.
No, and they'll be biological kids again to Magneto within the year. But again, Marvel can't keep anything changed for more than 2 years. No Marvel characters stay dead for 2 years. It's 2 years. I'll guarantee it. Within the next year, they're going to be the biological kids again.
I want Magneto to just say, "I don't have friends. I've got family."
Yeah. the only thing I guess for that,
even I get that reference.
Fuck, Magneto has a bucket of Coronas in his hat.
But wait a minute, I'm trying to also. This was X-Men 200, so we're revisiting the trial of Magneto again.
So X Factor's being it's being canceled, and then the last story that the X Factor, who's like the detectives that make sure people are dead.
How many trials is Magneto going to have? He's done it in X-Men.
He's done a lot of bad shit.
No. They had a trial for him in X-Men versus Avengers, and now we're having another trial of Magneto. How many times is this man going to be put on court?
Yeah, I know.
But isn't this Hickman's way? Like he repurposes famous events from Marvel history and kind of repackages them.
Wait, if we're going to repurpose stuff, that means we're going to go back to Westchester Mansion? That means we're going to get rid of Krakoa and go back to Westchester?
No.
Please.
No. We are getting Inferno.
See, everything else is... The balance of new is greater than old, and revisiting the trial of Magneto is an interesting pick. I mean, was he that influenced by X-Men 200?
Give it time. Marvel only knows how to do new for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then the last thing. Oh yeah, so it was really good. The last thing I read was Black Widow Volume 1 by Kelly Thompson and Elena Casagrande. So. The only thing I'll say about this book is I can see why it was nominated for an Eisner. After I read it, I was like, holy shit, this is like, it's really good. It's really good. I want you guys to read it. I don't even want to tell you what the story is because I feel like any little hint of what it is would give away a part of it and take away from the enjoyment. Somebody pitched the premise to me and I was like, that sounds insane. No way. That's why I went to read it. Yeah, so I highly. It's also gonna be part of my recommendation. So
good. Shelby has it, so I'll just pick up hers.
Yeah, dude, just read it and let me know. Once you finish it, let me know.
How old is it? Like, when did it come out?
Last year. It just started.
Okay.
They're on like issue 7 or 8 now.
Oh, okay.
So it just got collected recently. But I did when the Eisners came out. I saw that it was in there, but I didn't think anything of it. But then after reading it, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Cool. All right.
I also submitted an application to vote in the Eisners because somebody put out. I found the link.
Nice.
I don't know that it'll work because I think you need to be like in the comics industry. But hey,
we make a podcast. I think
that's what I put. I put media.
Good.
So we'll see.
And we're over 3 years old, so we've been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. I'll show them my long boxes. I got receipts.
Oh, you sent a box pic. That's what you did?
Right. Hey, check out this long box.
I don't got any of them short boxes. It's only long boxes.
Let me cleanse our timeline here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
Yes. All right, that was all. So let's move on clockwise as we have established. Clay.
This week I was going through a gift I got for Father's Day, which is the Planet of the Apes TV series on DVD.
Oh, I did want to watch that. Wait, the live action or the cartoon?
Live action.
Give me the cartoon.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch the cartoon. It's in my wish list, actually.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's really good. I mean, it's a bare bones DVD, so it is just the menus and the show.
Yeah.
There's like
how many episodes? I don't remember how many they're made.
I think it's 16.
Wow. Okay.
It was only one season, right?
Yeah. Both were.
Yeah,
The animated and the live action were only one season.
Yeah. So there's 4 discs with 4 episodes each.
Nice.
Roddy McDowall's in it, so he gives it a lot of credibility. I mean, he makes it really good. But then they're like, by the 3rd episode, they've gone from this kind of like caveman-like existence to doing surgery.
Nice.
So it's really weird. They travel from, at one point they think is San Francisco, and then they mention like they're in Miami, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, so they travel everywhere.
I gotta get this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
the guy that plays Orko, I'm trying to remember
wait.
actor's name.
His name's Orko?
The military guy.
It's been a long time, and I only said it because of He-Man.
Orko, or I'm saying it wrong or pronouncing it wrong.
No, sorry, go ahead.
He's the sheriff. It's played by Spock's dad on the original show, Mark.
Mark.
I know someone's going to remember the name.
Mark Leonard.
Mark Leonard.
There we go.
Yeah.
The youngest one here gets it.
It's Urko with a U.
Okay.
Yeah.
Urko. That's right. Okay.
Sorry, you said Orc, and all my picture is a little red floating being going, He-Man!
But it's fun. It's classic 70s TV. You know, we get our short little, story that's going to, give a moral. You get to see some actors before they were famous. Rorschach as a kid.
Really?
Really?
He's in it.
You damn dirty apes! I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me.
Oh my God, who is the head of in Animal House, the competing fraternity, the head guy?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, he's in one of the episodes. You just see a lot of actors who have done a ton of stuff, and this is their first start.
Gotta get this.
But that was just the biggest treat of the week. Is just I've been going through that. I've got 1 disc left, and I'm just enjoying all of it.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Let me pull up. Are any of you reading Jenny Zero?
I have the first issue, but I have not read it.
Okay, so Jenny Zero is a Dark Horse comic by
Kaiju Footprint. I'm in.
Very much so. So the story follows that this girl who's kind of like, I don't know, I want to say she's like lost her way. She's just drunk, does drugs, really kind of not got it together. And then you find out she's in charge of fighting the kaiju problem that they have.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, and so the art is really trippy and weird. I just really wanted to make sure people could see how cool it looked. I don't want to spoil it, but I just want to tease it because she's the daughter of what I guess they're referencing as like an Ultraman.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't say it, but they show an image that makes you believe that. So if that floats your boat, I figured that would be a Kyle book.
Yeah, thank you.
It sounds good.
Very interesting. And same thing.
King.
Along the same lines of kaiju is Big Girls. This is a really wild book where puberty leads to either growth or becoming a monster.
Interesting.
Wow.
And so they found a way to enlarge women who can fight the kaiju. So you have these giant fucking battles that are really cool, and he draws them really great. So it's really fun. And the story in it is fantastic. So I really suggest this book. In fact, I have the whole individual run, and I'm thinking of a way. If you guys know of a way you want to do a giveaway on here, I'll give away the whole set if we can get people involved.
Cool.
Last book I'm going to recommend, but this is really more for kids, and I'm actually going to give this series away too. Erratic by Kari Andrews. If you go to the AWA site, you can actually read the first issue.
Oh, okay.
It is him doing Spider-Man. I mean, that's really what it is. It's It's fun. He does it in a manga style, in the storytelling and the way it's told. So I see it appealing to more kids who have read that. But I love the art in this book. That's my favorite thing. I absolutely love it. But again, if you guys can think of a way we can do a giveaway, I'll give this out to anyone watching.
Cool.
The whole run. And that's what I got.
Great. All right, let's move on to. Thank you for putting it back in order so I can see. Variant. Time variant. Sorry, I'm variant. This is gonna be confusing.
Which
yeah.
are you?
Right, exactly.
I'm comic variant.
Comic variant. I haven't read a lot, but I actually have read some stuff, and I have them here with me. First off is when I went to I just got back from San Angelo, Texas, where my wife grew up, and weirdly a great guy I worked with at Borders ages ago, back when my wife and I first met, moved there and opened a comic shop, and we popped in while we were there, and so I picked up, because I've been meaning to read this forever, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Volume 1.
Hey.
It is so weird and fun, and I partly wanted to read it because I picked up the live action movie, part 1 of it, on sale.
Live action.
And
live action of it. There's live action of every anime now.
Right. But I didn't want to watch it until I kind of had a sense of what the tone of it was, because if you read descriptions of this book, it makes no sense. And I was like, is it violent? Is it sexual? Is it? I mean, what's up? It is. It's certainly violent.
I mean, the original anime is like back in like the early 90s.
Yeah. And I'm gonna start to watch that too. But so I was very confused when I started reading this, because it's all set in 1880 in like England, and I'm like, what is going on? I thought this was set in the modern day, you know. So, but it's a really fun. Yeah, there you go. It's a really fun story. Really dark in places too. So. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Oh, sorry.
From what I know about JoJo, it's kind of like broken up in a series or seasons.
Yeah.
Each one follows a different member of the Jo family. Like they each hit both their everyone's name. It has Joe in it, which is why they call it JoJo.
Right. So this character is Jonathan Joestar.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Joestar family. That's their name. So for example, because you mentioned that first one's in 1880, that could mean that later volumes, I don't know how many volumes include the life story of that one individual, but later on, it's kind of an interesting way to keep it fresh, but still do some keep the same structure that you have, but also keep it fresh, because you can always introduce new characters. I'm sure people will find their favorite season or volumes of JoJo because they probably like one of the Joestar characters more than the other. So and it's been so like I believe it's still ongoing, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I don't remember about the original manga, but I know the original anime starts off in current time.
Well,
no, actually, because I just started. Well, I don't know. Did Netflix redo the anime?
Yes, it's been redone. The original anime was in current time.
Okay, that's why I was confused, because I went to Netflix. I was just trying to find the anime, and it started where this book begins. Yeah, it starts a little bit into it.
They brought it back, like it's like how they keep redoing Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, the series was like mid '90s, but they've redone it like 2 or 3 different times.
Okay. Yeah. I will say, from a design perspective, because I looked it up, so then as I read into the various storylines, from a design perspective, what I like is the way that Viz releases these books. The color of the book is that storyline. So if you just look at a shelf with each of the volumes, when the color changes, you know, that's when the new storyline begins, which is kind of cool. I dig that, other than just having to look up, like, how many volumes of this do I need to read, you know, to, like, get this packaged story.
Well, and it looks so cool.
It took me a while to get used to the art. Once I think you get, because there are some moments. I'm trying to find a good example. There are some moments where characters, even though this is drawn back in like 1986, characters look like they were drawn by Rob Liefeld. You know, tiny heads, enormous arms, right?
Yeah.
But that's just the style. There are moments where like when people laugh, their jaws get distended, so they're like really laughing, you know. But it works, except for, and I really like this. I kind of dig this 1980s Deerstalker, 1880s Sherlock Holmes outfit here, right? Like it's like you know, Britpop in the 1880s. So anyway,
JoJo's Land of the Beefy Boys.
yes, exactly. So that's one thing I read. The other one was I pre-ordered this as soon as I saw it was due to come out. It's not really a comic, but it is put out by Fantagraphics. It's Anita Kunz's Another History of Art.
No.
And what's really awesome about this is, so she is an amazing illustrator. So like this is actually, and the end papers is her.
I hope there's no more nudity in your previews.
Oh, there is.
I don't know what YouTube's gonna do with that. So
actually, I'll try to find ones that are not super nude. But
what the hell?
But her thing is, she takes kind of famous paintings, but when she writes the author bios, it just basically regenders all these male artists as women. And as an art historian reading it, what I kind of love is her explanation of Gainsborough here is pretty. I mean, it's accurate, except for the name and the gender, right? So it just kind of, hang on. All right, you don't want nudity. This one I love.
Oh, I want nudity,
no,
but...
Listen, it's not that I don't want nudity. It's
YouTube doesn't want nudity.
Let's get
Madam
that straight.
XX. I mean, if I'm being fair, this is just the cover. So, you know, not much I can do about that. Anyway, it's a really great book. We do.
Oh, great! Now we have 69 people watching. Thanks, John.
You're welcome. There's one in particular I need to scan in because I'm going to show it to my class. This is a riff off of, I believe. This is Memling, but it is woman being mansplained. Which I just love. So anyway, it's a great book. Highly recommend it. Anita Kunz's Another History of Art. And then real quickly, this is kind of a recommendation, but I just thought I would mention it. On Father's Day, my family humored me and took me to Madness Games and Comics up in Plano.
Yep.
And I went through the whole store, and then as we were leaving, I discovered right up by the entrance, but the opposite side where we walked in, they had around 30 magazine boxes of out-of-print role-playing games and novels that they are just blowing out. They just found them in their warehouse. They're like, we're blowing these out. There's some amazing stuff. Old TSR novels. I bought this for $1. Long out of print early Paizo novels for, again, I spent $2 on this.
The fact that you guys haven't been to Madness, I'm surprised. They got the best trade paperback selection in Dallas.
Yeah, but they've pivoted with the games area.
Yeah.
So
but they're separated. You can walk in the store. The games are separated. They're on little sections. All the Madness geeks are on one side, and all the comic book stuff and gaming stuff is on the other side. You can be separated and not have to worry about them.
Well, they reorganized during the pandemic, so I hadn't been there in about a year and a half, and now all the game tables, they moved to the back of the store, and the kind of like the front is mainly all the game stuff. There is still against that left wall, there is still like the comics, like the new releases and the trades. The reason I stopped going there for a while, they're probably going to hear this, but I'm happy to report, they were whittling down their RPG section. Like at a certain point, it went from like 3 big like shelves down to just like 1 shelf. And I was like, well, crap, I'm not going to go there for my RPGs. But they slowly began expanding that again. So that was the main reason. I buy mainly RPG stuff, and it seemed like getting rid of it. So also picked this up as well.
What is that?
Ars Magica, the mysteries.
Oh, okay.
I honestly just started going through the boxes looking for hardbacks of games that I wanted or already owned in PDF. Because again, this was $5, and I'm like, oh shit, I'll buy that. I need to go back. There's some stuff I put back because I was also buying a board game, and I didn't want to spend too much. I need to go back.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
I know.
Treat yourself.
And that, dear viewers and listeners, is why Josh wasn't here with us last week, because he was having the time of his life, going through all these comics and books.
Any chance you saw any Star Frontiers? That was a game I had as a kid and lost along the way. Would love to find the original hard copies. I have PDFs of it, but it was like a space RPG.
Was it
TSR did it?
I don't think I saw it, but I would tell you this because I just saw it in the news. The new TSR, which is causing all kinds of problems, they're re-releasing Star Frontiers.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll find the article. Hang on. So, but that's it for me. So you could go ahead, Kyle.
No, I'm just listening. Oh, even from what I'm reading?
Yeah, no, it's you're up.
Okay. So what I'm reading is I read, like I know Daniel said we could talk about this Infinite Frontier #1, which I'm looking forward to because like they're tying in all the different characters that they did the little limited run of Infinite Frontier characters. It kind of starts off with Extent, the main villain from 0 Hour, coming back and deals with Green Lantern. Everybody still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, right. Yeah, but Green Lantern working with Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, and a couple of the Justice Society. They take him down. Then he's with Obsidian, and they basically go and they're heading to the original Justice Society headquarters because Jade's there meeting some friends, and then the whole building explodes with the green flame, and they can't find her. And it goes into basically just deal with a couple other characters, but ends with this. I don't know if it's the DoD, but they're this group trying to. I love this part. We have like it's the Justice League that's basically overseeing the Omniverse, and there's Captain Carrot, some huge ass freaking version of Captain Carrot. They're talking to Batman, Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, he lands on President Superman's Earth, and you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
but then you have the end of the story deals with Roy Harper being alive, and this organization tries to get him. But then he's saved by what looks like some kind of like the Black Lanterns, but it's Roy as a Black Lantern making creations of himself as Arsenal, Speedy, all the different versions he's been. It's like, what is going on here?
And also, the Flash goes to that Blood Planet.
Yeah, and then it's Psycho Pirate, which I think is kind of interesting because they just had Psycho Pirate as a character in the live action TV series.
When I did the review for this book earlier in the week, I was like, this is the stuff I love about comics, that it's fucking insane. Like, it doesn't make sense. We have Grant Morrison's multiverse. Like, hear this panel. Like, I love it. The art was so cool. Hiramiko was like really, really good on the art.
No, I like it. I like when Thomas Wayne's like going, I need to talk to Barry. I need to talk to the Flash. Which one? Barry Allen. Which one?
And Josh Williamson just knows how to like.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel convoluted. Like each story has its own little part. I even the quieter story where Alan Scott recently came out to his kid, so he's talking to Obsidian here, and they're kind of just talking about that. But then then they kind of like they're in Gotham, which is weird that they're in Gotham. First,
no. That's where the original Justice Society headquarters was, in Gotham.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, as they go into this place, like they get ambushed, and then they both got to get back into the fight.
But I like how basically Obsidian and they're talking as they're walking, and basically Obsidian goes throughout the whole history. It's like, we went through all these different crises, named almost every one, and it's like, well, it's like there was never a point that was changed. Like you just hit every point of DC history up until now, and it's like, well, I've been erased, I've been this, I've been that, and then boom, now we're here, and it's like it's different.
even if you didn't read like Death Metal, you could probably read this. I would maybe recommend reading the Zero issue because that one, it kind of distills everything you really need to know. It introduces a lot of these characters if you're not familiar with them, but but they're so well written that you're like, even like Captain Carrot, you can immediately tell like, oh yeah, he's just a cool dude. They draw him really big here. I don't think I've ever seen him this buff.
He's never been that big.
Like just look at like it's insane
He's
how
huge.
Wow. Can I offer you some delicious carrot juice?
But then we have
can't wait to see a cosplay.
I don't know if this is Mary Marvel. I guess that's Mary Marvel.
Yeah, it's Mary Marvel from the original like pre-52 universe, like the one that we had in the
yeah. And I don't know the version of Aquaman that
it's Aquagirl. It's Aquagirl.
Aquagirl.
Okay. Yeah.
I just had the best idea based on Clay's comment about cosplay. That new crazy Netflix show, Sexy Beasts. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah, I've seen the previous part.
They need to partner with DC and have someone in an episode as Captain Carrot. So
yeah, that show's insane. Go look at the trailer because
I don't want to. It just sounds so nightmarish.
It's a blind date show, but they dress them up like that, so like you can really tell they're only connecting because they have chemistry and not because of their looks.
Yeah, everyone's made up with prosthetics to make them look like unnameable creatures. So it's weird.
Kyle, sorry, go ahead.
All right, no, you're fine. Next one I did was Back to the Future. Transformers Back to the Future #4, where we finally tie up the story arc. Where basically, it's apparently the Decepticons make Hill Valley's City Hall into a gigantic transformer that basically is trying to stop Marty and Gigawatt, who's the DeLorean, and Rodimus and Bumblebee from stopping everything, and they end up saving the day and end up changing it and becomes another universe and everything. But it's again IDW having fun with two different properties that should not have been put together but made it work.
They should not be put together.
I forgot to ask because you talked about this before. Is the hoverboard a transformer?
Yep.
Yeah.
The hoverboard and the freaking DeLorean are both transformers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I saw the DeLorean in the cover of the first one or the second one.
Yeah.
But I figured the hoverboard would make a perfect transformer.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I read Amazing Spider-Man #69, where they're still dealing with the current. It basically the story arc is called the Chameleon's Conspiracy, where you've got Spider-Man dealing with trying to save this, I guess, student. Not co-student, but colleague at Empire State University from the Foreigner, Chance, and all these other villains. His sister is actually is basically not in jail, but has invaded the jail to talk to the Chameleon and another character. I'm not sure who he is about their parents' death, and so it's just like this is where I'm having fun. It's Spider-Man being Spider-Man, not X-Men not being X-Men. So it's like, but it's just a lot of you're bringing back a whole lot of characters, like again Silver Sable, the Foreigner, Chance, and a whole bunch of Jack-o'-lanterns, and then basically Spider-Man gets zapped. He goes to get help from Ned Leeds, who's back from the dead. And then you see the Foreigner in this, I guess, what looks almost like a hover carrier. It's a gigantic casino up in the sky. And then you see them attacked by like Leapfrog and the Grizzly, and it's just bringing back all this old Spider-Man lore. It's like this is freaking amazing. It's 1970s, 80s characters just having fun in the Spider-Man book. So,
and I think this arc may be wrapping up Spencer's run on Spider-Man.
I hope not, because I'm really
no. I believe they announced that either he's done at 75.
Okay,
but he's pretty close to being done. So maybe this or the next arc will wrap everything up for him.
And then last issue was Justice League #63, where basically they have I think it was a way to bring in Black Adam into the Justice League, but they're also also bringing Naomi, who is going to be the next CW show.
Yeah.
But basically, I love they're in the Hall of Justice, and there's a scene where basically they're on the top level looking down and everything, and it's Batman and Green Arrow, and Batman's like, Oliver, maybe ask you a question. It's like, what's going on? It's like, how is the Hall of Justice been getting paid? And he goes, well, after the death medal, I didn't figure that it was good for the U.S. to pay for us anymore, and I know you've gone broke, but don't worry, you'll bounce back. So I had some little extra cash. Green Arrow's been funding the Hall of Justice and the Justice League's whole thing for this whole time. And I'm just like, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Batman's been broke for a minute now.
Yeah, he went from billionaire to millionaire. So, yeah, so
I think Nightwing's the billionaire now. I believe he inherited.
I think because of Alfred, Nightwing's even more is richer than Bruce now.
Alfred, good dad. We said it last week. Good dad.
Very good.
Big kids. All right. Well, before we go into our main topic, let's talk about Loki episode 3. With full spoilers. This is your spoiler warning. Fast forward, I don't know, 10 minutes.
I think we already figured out. I think we were basically told who Sylvia is.
Have we been told?
Yep.
She's the enchantress.
Yeah. She's even saying, "I enchant them. I enchant them."
That was it. That did it for me. So,
which enchantress? The one Loki made, or the other one?
What?
There's 2 enchantresses, right?
No, I mean the original enchantress, the one that was part of the brother. Was a part of the not Brotherhood of Evil Beings, Jesus Christ, Masters of Evil. The one that had a relationship with the Enforcer. The one that was always trying to mess with Thor. The original enchantress.
So I did see that people are saying maybe they combined that and Lady Loki into one character.
Maybe.
But the most intriguing part to me about this episode, so we start the episode with the Enchantress showing us how, or Sylvie showing us how she got the questions out of the variant time person, right? Because she got the information with that illusion. And then this episode's really weird. It's kind of a bottle episode, only in the fact that it's really only about them, Loki and Sylvie. But partway through the episode, I started, like, after I watched it and I saw people talk about it, I was like, did one of them enchant the other and they're actually, like, none of this is really happening?
I hope
not. The production quality of it is very low. So when you say it's a bottle episode, it is a CGI episode. It looks very... I mean, it just looks like they're in a green screen set the whole time. So maybe someone is enchanted.
Because it felt like a good modern Doctor Who episode to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like when they have to create an entire alien world. That's kind of what it felt like, right?
He brings you into a place in the middle of a disaster, and then they go about their business.
Because, I mean, the TVA is... They're not going to be able to find them, I don't think. I mean, they're in an apocalypse, so they have no way to track them.
There's one thing I hope is not fake. It's like because she even goes and says like all the TVA agents are variants. Like they're not created.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's huge.
Maybe Loki enchanted her, and he's getting the information out of her.
Maybe.
But wait, I got the impression when she is enchanting people, Loki is impressed, and doesn't he actually ask her, how do you do that? Like, that didn't seem to be in his power set. It seemed like she's doing something different that he can't.
No, there was something that happened at least twice in this episode. I'm like, where was this in the fucking rest of the Marvel universe? There's at least once or twice where Loki does like this green blast to knock somebody back. I'm like going, he has like energy blast powers, and he didn't use this once without the damn fucking staff in the damn movie. It's like, where has been this magic level that he's had this whole time?
Well, it's like they can pick and choose where his magic works. So that's the benefit of the story. But I am curious at some point. I may go back and watch the first 3 because he keeps asking her, how did you teach yourself how to enchant? Yeah. And it's like she's explaining to the worst person how to use this power.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I really like I love a good train heist episode of anything.
Yeah.
And this one was kind of silly at the beginning, and then it got really action-packed. There was a sequence that was shot to seem like a one-shot take. Obviously, it's there's a lot of cuts probably hidden in there, but that last sequence at the end before Loki holds up a building and uses magnets to send it back.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying the show. I like them a lot. I never thought I would be like, oh, what if Loki gets with Loki, and they, like I'm shipping Loki with a variant of Loki.
I mean, that just kind of makes sense, right? I mean, Loki's going to fall in love with himself, so
we have a very interesting.
They even said they sort of alluded that Loki is sort of like what's the term for it? Where he's bisexual.
I think he's bisexual.
Yeah. I think they made it canon. I think I was reading articles saying that they've just said that. So
I like everything on the train. The callback to another, when he's drinking from the first Thor movie. So this show's a lot of fun.
It is. You have to be invested in the MCU because you do have to recognize all the callbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But it makes it more fun.
Now, Josh, you mentioned your daughter was really digging the show.
Oh yeah.
What? I mean, is she like a big MCU person, or just like kind of pick and choosing?
Well, all right. So here's what's funny. The first MCU movie she saw, because she was old enough to kind of see it, was Guardians of the Galaxy. So we kind of like hit and miss a bunch of films since then. Like she never saw Ant-Man. There's a few others, right? So after Endgame, when we were driving home and I turned to her and I'm like, every one of those movie references they went back to, you've not seen. And then I think after Loki, the first episode where you get a bunch of flashbacks, she's like, all right, this summer I'm going to watch all the MCU movies. So just in the past week, she's blown through Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, and then on the drive home yesterday, she watched Avengers. So she's getting through them now. And I think as she watches them, she's going to start seeing how everything
ties together.
Yeah, it fits into place, right? She'll understand all the flashbacks in WandaVision with her and Quicksilver's kids, right? Like all that stuff is going to make a lot more sense. So, yeah.
And has she told you, or have you asked her like what she likes? Is it the Doctor Who feel of Loki?
No, because that was really only the third episode. It's really she loves humor. Okay. And letting Hiddleston shine in this show and just be funny and himself and just the great actor that he is. She's just really loving it. So I mean that's what's been doing it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I only ask because I like to get other perspectives from like just other people that enjoy things, but I don't know that we're enjoying it because it's quality product, but I feel like obviously we come at it from different places. Right. I'm into everything that's comics, like just whatever, regardless of what it is, but I know not everybody feels the same way. So like, it's interesting to see why, like how this one show without having watched all the other stuff, like how it would be so appealing, but it's just a really well-made show. And even as just a comedy about kind of this weird workplace, like it's still like the first two episodes, especially, like it still kind of just works on that level.
Yeah,
with totally. All the TVA stuff.
I have an interesting theory though. What if Mobius is a variant of Stan Lee?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Was Stanley a known skier?
Water skier.
Jet skiing?
Well, my wife is also watching Loki, and I should point out the whole family watched WandaVision and loved it. But as soon as Mobius says his name, my wife paused the show and she's like, "Oh, he's a Mobius strip." And then like explained it to my daughter, like this kind of like infinite loop. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's so smart.
So then she pulled that end game and then showed her the Tony Stark scene.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay, great. I'm really enjoying the show. I don't mind that it's on a Wednesday because I'm always home anyway. So,
well, and I think they said from now on the shows will be released on Wednesdays, right? Yeah. So,
well, I think they're realizing that people on the weekends are actually now going out and doing stuff. So maybe they don't want to, they need a headway into the weekend. But okay, yeah, we'll keep. I mean, as long as we all keep watching them, we can talk about them on Sundays.
I also wonder, this is just a weird random thing, if Wednesdays are better to avoid spoilers. Like, if it's going to be released on, like, Friday or Saturday, and you are busy, and you can't get around to watching it till Sunday or Monday, you're going to come across spoilers. But if it's Wednesday night, and you're not as busy, and you can just pop it on, it's better to avoid, the internet at that point.
I also think they don't want to interfere with their own movies, or even other movie releases. Like
that makes sense.
They'll know that Friday's a big movie release day.
Yeah.
And I think some of their other content still, like Star Wars stuff, still coming out on Fridays. Bad Batch still coming out on Fridays. So we'll see. But Netflix drops a lot of things on Thursdays.
I've got an ending for you guys. This is how the series is going to end.
That's amazing.
Is that a Point Break?
Lord.
It's actually the jet ski from Kenny Powers. So they steal Kenny Powers' jet ski and go off on adventures.
I want them as they ski up into the distance to play to have the Danger Zone playing in the background.
I just don't know why they just didn't get 2 jet skis.
No, bros share.
Share.
Also, those are pretty expensive, Clay. TVA agents don't make that much money, all right?
They just pop into a reality and sell an Infinity Stone.
just for one that doesn't work.
Yeah. God, right. I still love that. That's so brilliant. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That was it for our stuff that we're catching up. That was it for Loki. Like I said, if we're all caught up by next week, then we'll just talk about episode 4. And I think this is a nice way to do it instead of doing like a whole separate show. We may do an episode recapping the whole thing at the end, but
we're gonna have to with everything that's going on in this show.
Yeah, there's a lot to go on, so an episode recap is easier.
All right, so let's talk about our main topic this week, which is actually dual topics, like dual exhaust engines in a car.
What?
Nice.
I know.
Good segue.
Car reference.
But we'll start with. We'll start with how people are leaving now. Like they're hitting dislike at this moment. Let's start with the Dallas Comic Show. So Kyle and I went to the Dallas Comic Show yesterday. Kyle, you want to just tell me a little bit about like your? I guess I saw you for a little bit, but then I was walking around and
I tried to get you before I left, but I couldn't find you. It was one with my friend Robbie, and it was a lot of fun. It was just you walk in. I mean, you go to where the main, like I guess one of the main entrances that's off of what I guess would be Hebron Road or what Hebron turns into. But they had a big banner on the sign. It was what would lead into the what used to be the food court area. It's a Dallas Comic Show here, and they're in this small space where I think they originally had done Who Needs Sleep, and it was
the grand stage area or whatever they call it.
And it was just a lot of fun. After a couple hours, you started. They didn't have a lot of air conditioning there, so you started to and I hate using this term, but you started getting really kind of warm in there, and what most people would call fanboy funk was starting to affect you. But
sweaties, as Adrian loves to say.
but it was. But it was a lot of fun. Like you walked in there, and then they had comic book vendors. They had everybody set up. They had a stage where Devin and Robert were interviewing the different people, and you had the very back room where that's where they're doing the signing. I got there about 15 minutes right before because Gary, I always forget how to pronounce his last name. The guy who played Shang Tsung had to drop out this past week, but they ended up getting Chuck Norris, and so Chuck Norris was coming out at 1:00 to do signing, and nothing against the man. I'm sure he's nice, but. The man was charging $110 for his autograph. I'm like going, sorry, I'm
charging for selfies. Like,
yeah, I'm at this point where I can't justify spending more than $30 for an autograph. That's just me. I'm sorry, but cons are for the fans to come and spend money on the merchandise. And I'm at this point where it's like the guests should realize these people aren't rich. I mean, they save their money up, but why don't you make it easy so they can actually get the autographs they want, and actually still purchase from the actual vendors they bring in. So
see, that's going to be the difference between a local show and a fan expo show. Expo show is going to be celebrity loaded.
Yeah,
just to save money on autographs, and I think it'll start at $30.
Yeah, and I can't remember if Daniel made the joke or somebody else, but like if I'm paying $110 to Chuck Norris, he better roundhouse my ass down to the ground if I'm going to fucking pay him that much money for an autograph.
I thought it was $110 for an autograph, $120 for autograph with roundhouse kick.
No, there was no mention of roundhouse kick. If they put roundhouse kick, I'd be like, here's my 100. Go.
Here's my 100.
But
I'd pay $200 to hear a story about Bruce Lee kicking his ass.
Yeah. The one thing I really kicked myself was there was one vendor. The guy was a little bit overpriced on his comic books, but he also said, "We'll bargain." And they had, oh my god.
One of them said like, "Bargain with me, make me an offer," something like that.
But and I told you about this, Daniel. And I wish I didn't think about it when Chuck Norris was coming out, but he had all 4 issues of the Star Comics Chuck Norris Karate Commandos issues. And I went back to pick it up, but somebody had picked it up, and I guess got to get signed by Chuck. I'm like, damn it. But some of the comics I got was, and I went on my whole little thing of doing the Marvel #1s, was Kazar #1.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Sektar's #1 from Marvel.
Oh,
Comics.
wow.
Master of Kung Fu Annual #1, where basically he's with Iron Fist.
Nice.
Master of Kung Fu, Martial Arts versus the Man Thing.
Damn it. I need that.
And this is the same guy that I was going to buy the Chuck Norris from, but it was the 1982 Marvel variant issue for Dark Crystal, both issues.
Who did the art?
Oh, I'll have to look it up. I haven't opened them, so I don't know yet. I'll have to look it up, but yeah. But
I just remember those covers and it always looking so good.
I've got that. I have the even though I'm not a big fan of the films, I've got the Blade Runner. I've got the Last Starfighter. So I've got a lot of the Marvel adaptations they've released. So those are kind of cool. But and then I just went around and then again you had the you had the bracelets. You could walk out in the mall. We but again after a while you had to get out and away from the whole. But again, it was a fun con. It was great, and it was nice. It was a nice little experiment to see can this stuff happen again. I think it was a way to I caught up with a whole bunch of people. I caught up with Devin and Robert. I caught up with my friend Alon. I saw Daniel there, and it was just and we got into 10-minute conversation.
Yeah. We had there was 2 people that people that called you, and I just met them that moment, but instantly the one thing that we started was just talking about comic books.
Yeah,
it was seamless. I've never met. Maybe I've seen him before, but I don't remember.
It was my friend Robbie that was in the chat.
Yeah, I think I've seen him. I've seen him before. But it was cool. Like that's the cool thing about convention and seeing people that I call them convention friends because you see them at conventions all the time, and that's the only time you actually talk to them and see them.
But you get in the conversation. It was like we hadn't lost a note. It was like life's come back to America, and we're just in these conversations. It was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is my friend Lon. He used to, Josh might know his wife's Ruby. They do a space. He used to be a part of Space Gun Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'd have to. Okay, if I show some pictures, you might recognize them. But they've been doing the cons for the longest time, and apparently they are still working some of the cons. Like apparently IkiCon was down in Austin this past year. They moved to May, and they were working that. But he was. I was talking to him. I met him at Brett Peoples' table, who was one of the artists they had there.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and now I think I'm gonna have to start doing this. Lon has a small. I never did this in the past, but he has a small sketchbook, and he goes around and he gives it to the artists so they can do sketches in the actual sketchbook. So I may have to pick one up so I can take the cons with me if there's an artist I want to get a sketch from. Then do that. Yeah. But again, we hadn't spoken. I hadn't seen the man in over 2 years, and we just spoken. It was just like we never lost touch. It was just
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool.
And I'm down for the next one when it comes to.
For sure. I think there's something going on in August. There's actually one today in Frisco. It's called Collecticon. That's
wow. There's also I think it's more of a toy show. It's like Pokemon cards and stuff like that.
But they have a lot of artists. They have a lot of local artists. I don't know. The only reason I know is because one of the people that I see at the convention all the time told me that if I was going today.
Well, no, it wasn't the con. Okay, so. Right outside the mall, there's a comic shop that's been around there for a couple years called Boomerang Comics. But there's a new comic shop in the actual parking lot of the mall now, right next to where Hallmark is, facing 35. It's called Comics, Games, and stuff. My friend Robbie found it. We went to check it out, and apparently it's a business that's been doing business online for the longest years. But they now have a storefront, and so they have pops. They have a background where all the back issues are. And then they said, we've got storage different storages of different comics that we're trying to bring to the thing. And
are there tables back? Like their gaming tables? Are they back on? Because this was like a gaming board games tabletop / comic book store.
There was nothing in there that indicated there was ever board games there. This is just all.
Okay, maybe they switched. Okay,
but they've only been around for a month. And
so it must be a different one then.
Yeah, they were the ones who told me about the con in Frisco.
Yeah. Like I said. People asked me if I was going to that, and I thought about it. The only thing is on the way back home, my AC was not working, so I don't want to be driving around with that AC.
No, God no.
Oh, shit.
But I'm gonna keep an eye out for
mine charged.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, like Kyle, I got there. I really like if you read the FAQ, they gave you a heads up, like, listen, we can't ask you to for vaccination proof, so we're requiring everybody to wear masks. But if you volunteer the information, then you get a different wristband that says you've been vaccinated, so you can choose not to wear a mask.
And that's where I was on mask for the start of it, and then I started kind of getting a little bit where I was starting to not use it as much. So it's like it was.
I mean, especially when it got hot inside.
Oh God!
When you said that there was a funk in the air, that concerned me because I was like, I asked Daniel about it. I had just seen some photos online and was looking at it. It just the area looked very small.
It was. That was the only problem.
It was,
and that was a concern of mine.
I got some footage, so I got a video coming to the channel just about that stuff, so you can take a look.
But I trust Mark and his policies, and to have to enforce that just seemed really tough.
But it was very it
was enforced.
His security for the whole thing was pretty on top.
It was like 4 bouncers outside. Like they wouldn't even let you in. Like they checked your wristband, and then they had disposable mask. I guess if you didn't have one and you needed to have one on, they were super tight about that. I didn't see any issues with like people complaining about it. I don't know. I may not. I mean, it's not like I was looking for issues, but yeah, I got there. I went in. I did a whole round. I'm surprised how big of a line Chuck Norris had.
Dude, we're in Texas.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I was still surprised because he was kind of a last-minute addition. Like,
what was the name of the show he was on for like a decade?
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger.
And we live in Texas.
But yeah, anyway, so I was looking forward more to seeing the guy who plays Shang Tsung.
I know. They had to. That means they canceled the fucking show.
He got delayed to November. Yeah, he got delayed to November. So hopefully I can.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to just pimp it up once. I was talking to Robert and Devin, and apparently they got that's the same space he's for. I said before they use it for Who Needs Sleep. Apparently they've signed. The mall actually has signed a 5-year contract for Who Needs Sleep there for them to do the charity event. So
yeah, conventions going forward will also be there. Like the next 3 announced at least. The fantasy stuff in August and the one in November. So I like that place because it's relatively close to me.
Well, not even that. Apparently, a friend of his is opening an anime store in there too. So I'll have to go back and check that out too. Oh yeah, there's also in one of the in one of what was the old department stores, there is a Korean market / supermarket. It's amazing to go down there and check. But you never would have realized it was in the mall.
That mall is super interesting now.
I know
with the stuff that's in there. It's more like a bazaar that's inside of a
flea market.
Yeah.
Because
they even have little sellers at tables by the food court and stuff.
In the main downstairs over the food court where the theater used to be. I mean that used to be the mall to go to. I mean I remember that's where I saw T2 at least 6 times in the theater. But they have a restaurant downstairs advertising that we now have alcohol that you can come and actually go to get, come and eat and drink downstairs. And then they also have and it's been there over like a couple of years, but they have a cat cafe in there also.
Yeah.
So fun fact, the building right up on the outside, like not in the mall, but up that abuts against the road that goes by right there, that goes over the highway. Yeah. That was the Borders I worked at.
Oh,
and that was the Borders I met Cruz, whose store in San Angelo I just went to.
Oh, I remember that Borders. That was actually I like that Borders. That was a fun.
It was a great Borders. I loved it. It was fantastic. Yeah.
And then like I mentioned, Boomerang Comics is right there. They are under. They just got bought out. Neil he sold the store to a new owner, but my buddy Jack he still works there. He's a store manager. He said there was a lot more people coming in yesterday because of the convention. So go check out Boomerang Comics. They're a good really store. Cool. They have a monthly book club, which I couldn't attend yesterday because we were watching the movie. But yeah, it's the comic book club is also back in store now. We were doing it digitally, but they're now back in store. And the store's kind of getting revamped. They have a lot more stuff and. So I'm very excited. Like I said, Jack's been working there forever, and now he's running kind of the store.
Well,
So
you've got so much. You've got a ramen Hakata in that same shopping center.
that one's new as well.
No, that's old. That's been there for about 5 years now.
Has it?
Yeah, I went. Maybe they revamped it, but Hakata's been there since at least 2017 or 18.
Okay, then they must have expanded because there was an Indian food restaurant next door.
The Addison location expanded about 1.5 years ago. Also,
yeah, that's the one I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I mean, when I went to college, this was Vista Ridge Mall.
No, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now it's Music City Mall, and their pitch is that they always have live music.
No, they did. And downstairs, they like I said, what used to be where the food, what would be downstairs, part of what the main center of the mall. They had a stage where people were playing music, and they had vendors with tables going on, and it was just like like I said, it sucks that a lot of businesses shut down, but it's also a new place where people are getting chances to start new independent businesses. Yeah. So it's
it's a weird talk. I mean, it's a weird tangent, but
yeah,
I think the mall as a thing, it's on its way out. I think this new thing, whatever this new thing's turning into, like bazaar, flea market, small business type of, or even a small concert venue or events venue. That's got to be the next thing that comes out of it, because nobody wants to go, like, I don't know what kids are doing nowadays, but I tell you what, they don't want to be
they don't want to hang out at the mall.
I did see a lot of young people at the mall yesterday. I'm so confused. I don't know. Stonebriar was packed to the brim.
Well, no, and that's the thing.
There was a lot of people, but I have a mall right by where I live, Town East Mall, which is, they pivot to cater who's there. And when they lost anchor stores, they went after like Dick's Sporting Goods and like rebuilt a section just to bring them in.
Well, not even that. You're talking about malls. Like, go to the North Park Mall. North Park Mall is not dying. They're still thriving with almost every.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. But North Park Mall also has a pretty high crime rate.
Does it?
It does.
Yeah.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Wait, I didn't know that. North Park.
Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't expect that either.
I didn't think that either. Yeah.
I think of that one as the fancy mall.
Yeah, it is a fancy mall. Really.
That's why you rob them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You guys are terrible criminals.
It's so much easier to steal from the poor, Clay.
Yeah, like at Town East Mall, they've pivoted to a lot of things. They do have a lot of vendors in the middle, so you have like kiosks of people hitting you up for shit. So it is packed, and I hate going there.
The one thing I've always thought it was interesting about Town East Mall is how they had you walk in, they have the 2 floors, but then you have that center kind of like store area, and the 3rd floor is where the food court was. So you have to take an escalator up to that 3rd floor to get to all the food.
All the food, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me go over my haul. I did have a good time at the convention.
Yeah,
like I told you guys earlier, because I was shooting a video. Like I would walk around. It was a little hard to take video inside because I didn't want to just get in people's way. But I did get some nice footage.
It's why I didn't do any interviews. It was just too small and too packed. I just didn't. I didn't feel like I could get a good interview.
Hopefully, in the future they have a better organizational system, or maybe this was really packed also because it was kind of like, hey, come back to conventions. We're back, and everybody just wanted to go. I did get some pretty cool stuff. I didn't spend a lot of money, luckily.
Do you all guys have a list for shows now? Do you go prepared to collect?
No, but I am now the list. So I think when I go back to the con, my only target is to work on Star Comics. I'm gonna start trying to build that collection I always wanted to do for the He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawk stuff. So
I normally just want to get committed some original art on covers or something.
Okay.
But I did buy some stuff. So first I picked up this Spider-Man issue with Chris Bacalo art because I love any homage to Pantera's vulgar display of power. I have Greg Capullo did want to go for Batman.
Show title.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think as somebody that lives in Dallas, we have to anything that alludes to Pantera, which is a local group. We gotta get it. And then I found for $2 each, and the $2. I love the $2 bin because it's the Gates of Gotham.
Nice.
It's a story by Scott Snyder and Kyle Higgins. This is the last story they did before the New 52 started, and I found issues 1 through 5, which is the whole thing. And these were all $2 each, and then but the biggest steal. Let me take it out of the plastic so y'all can see it really well. It's a
Mad Max
sketch cover by Steve Irwin for Mad Max. How much do you guys think I paid? Well, how much would you pay for this? None. It's pencils only.
$75.
But It's drawn on the cover, right? That's not
hand drawn.
Nice.
It's hand drawn in pencil. Yeah, it's hand drawn in pencil.
I would agree with Clay. I'd say like between 50 and 75.
I got it for $10.
What?
No, wow.
Steve Irwin is like the best person we have. You guys saw my what was it? I think Deathstroke cover from a while back. Like
I almost asked him for it. It was the fact I just couldn't justify right now what they were asking for certain sketches. It was still above what I was willing to pay for.
I brought some blank covers, but I wasn't gonna have enough time to sit there. Like I didn't want to rush him to draw me something. But he already had this pre-made. He said he made it at a different convention just to pass the time as he was hanging out there. And I asked him like, so are you selling that? He's like, yeah, give me $10. And I was like, no way, that's got to be more than. I told him, no way, that's got to be more than $10. And he's like, no, it's $10 if you want it. And I was like, okay, but then I felt bad because it really feels like it should be more. So I bought some prints.
To him, it seems like it was a doodle.
Yeah, I bought some.
Yeah.
I bought some prints off of him too. I have this really cool, and I'll put it in the video that I'm making. It's Godzilla versus Deathstroke print that he made. Yeah. I'll send you guys a picture of this.
Please.
I don't have it in the room. Otherwise, I would go get it.
Wait. I'm sorry. That's a very one-sided battle.
Yeah, for Deathstroke. I'm just kidding.
Against Godzilla?
Delete yourself right now.
Maybe he's got the God Slayer.
Oh my god.
All right, you say so. Is it a drawing that looks like that cover of the comic that Clay showed us with just Godzilla's footprint and then Deathstroke in the middle?
Yeah. That's probably the next panel.
I guess squeeze it in between the toes.
Yeah,
Godzilla.
No, what was it? Like I think it's that Robot Chicken sketch they did where it's Godzilla versus Jason.
Now I kind of want to draw that now, Josh.
See, that's the thing. It's like I think the cheapest sketch I saw for any of the artists I would have gotten from was like $50, and it's just like I can't. As much as I'd love to do it, I just can't justify that. I'm saying
that's why I asked them because I've gotten stuff from him before. The most he's charged me for like a full thing with ink was like $30, and I was that's really good, and his art is really good.
Well, not even that's why I need to start doing what my friend does, like carrying a small sketchbook, so it's not something huge. They can just He did show me some designs he made for a video game and stuff, so it was cool. Like that's the stuff I miss the most. Like just talking to artists and creators. The one I wish I didn't do. I went by his table and he had sketches of from Star Trek comics that he had done. And I'm looking at this. I wish I'd taken the time to look at that.
He was selling those for $50 a page, I think.
Oh, just cool.
But he had other pages.
Worth it. I just couldn't justify it.
He had other pages that were $25 for original art. But the Star Trek stuff, because it's licensed, he probably can get a little more. So I get it. I mean, it's still a good deal for original art, for original comic art. Like, some of the cheapest stuff I bought, it's been like $70 and stuff.
Oh.
But but yeah, I had a good time. Like I said, I'll be putting out a video of like my whole journey, kind of. It was nice to have the food court next door to like whenever you need to take a break.
For what little food they had.
Well, I didn't mean for eating. I just meant like to hang out at a table.
Yeah, what was it? Just a half of Orange Julius? What was it? What did they offer?
There were three. There was some small food truck place.
There was something called Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
And then like a pizza place?
Yeah, I before we went to the con, Robbie and I each got a slice of pepperoni pizza, but there was not much in there.
But I will say, if you go to that convention, because it is at the mall, you can kind of leave and come back. There's a lot of really good food around the area.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I wanted to make the video, because I started with like, this is the stuff I think you should take, and now I included like hand sanitizer and an additional like stuff you probably should have been taken before.
Well, no, I'll say this: the mall had a good thing about sanitizer stations.
Yeah, sanitation stations everywhere. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't have to use the restroom. I hate using restrooms at the mall.
Unfortunately, I did.
But luckily,
if it's Kyle variant.
Yeah. Luckily, we can be standing up, so that helps.
Yeah, true. Oh my!
Oh my! That's a story for another day.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
I never. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Love it.
Well, and with that, let's go on to. So the second thing I did yesterday And now I wish I had done something with Josh. Now I feel bad because I saw Kyle at the convention, and then my buddy he suggested we rent out a theater to watch F9 at the Stonebriar Mall. So I was looking for people, and
how much did that cost?
So the full theater costs $150 plus tax for up to 20 people. We had
you break it down. We had
18 people. So it was like $11 for.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah. If
totally
you have
worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a 50. We went to Stonebriar Mall, and it's a 50 people auditorium that we got, but the max you can bring as a party is 20.
Okay.
You're not required to buy food.
Oh.
We did anyways, but you're not required to.
No, weird slight tangent. Apparently, somebody was talking about how I think Alamo Draft House is opening back up in July.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready because it's right down the street from me.
Well,
the one in Las Colinas.
I'm thinking about maybe trying to do a birthday party running out of the theater in October, and maybe trying to do
dude.
That way,
that'd be cool.
Invite people and say, "Hey, not a big place. Let's go. I'm gonna see if we can just show some movie and say, hey, let's all have fun.
Let's watch the old He-Man movie.
I've got thoughts in my head. I'm gonna see maybe we can. If we can have people to do it, I might see if we can't do a double feature or something. So that's why I'm trying to plan for my 44th.
Transformers, the animated movie?
Oh, I saw it there already. I've already seen it there.
Yeah, so that part was cool because I've been back to the theater, but I hadn't been in a place where it was just like where we would rent out a theater. And I mean, I was really excited about watching F9. I rewatched a lot of them this week.
Still, you have to watch
in
one.
Preparation. I can't believe. So, Kyle and Josh, you've never seen any of the movies?
I've seen bits and parts of one. That's it.
Oh,
not a single second of any of them. Yeah,
because I feel like
if you were to explain what you thought the movies were about, what would you say?
Driving cars.
Okay.
Driving cars from one building to another building. That's all I know.
And then, as each movie goes on, it's about what can cars do in special teams. Can we bring down a Lear jet? Can we go to space? Can we take down a nuclear bomb? And it's like
I don't even know that. I just think it's driving cars from building to building.
No, I don't know.
And then apparently you do things in the building. That's all I know.
I just remember watching the trailers. I don't know if it's 6 or 7, but they have all the cars in the airfield, and they have ropes tied to this one huge, gigantic jet, and they're trying to bring it down. I'm like going, okay, if F-10 is not in space, I'm done. It's only, what haven't they done? It's like I almost equivalent the final
interdimensional travel.
I equivalent
interdimensional travel.
I equivalent the Fast movies like the Tom Cruise films. The
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
It's like what kind of stunt can he do next and not get killed? What he always has to up the game. So F9 is like, what can we do with cars to up the game in these series?
Every Mission Impossible plot is we have a mole inside the agency. Who is it? And it's always the guy working with Tom Cruise. And then it's just stunts. That's all it is. That's every plot. Every Mission Impossible.
I have a theory about this. It struck me. It was like a shower thought the other day. Does Tom Cruise keep doing more and more dangerous stunts because he thinks Scientology makes him immortal?
I'm gonna go yes. That makes
all
sense.
I can fathom.
That makes sense.
I think we will call this the Tyrese theory. He believes he is invulnerable and therefore will continue to threaten his own life until he's proven wrong.
Seems that way until he's proven wrong.
I mean, he was tied to that airplane when it took off. I mean, there's a Mission Impossible where he takes off and he is strapped to an airplane and he's supposed to be holding on to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's extreme.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, of all the people that do stunts, Jackie Chan's probably going, "This motherfucker's crazy."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The Fast and Furious stunts, I mean, they're great car stunts. They do, the impossible. That they do travel from building to building. They do travel in space. They do travel, cars that fly.
Fast 10's got to have like their own Spider-Man version of webbing where it just goes, it swings from one building to the other.
Honest to God, after seeing F9, I don't know what they could do in F10 to top themselves.
Space. You got to make it into like...
I guess
we're gonna go in full spoilers.
Go for it.
Let's go full spoilers, baby. Because I want Josh and Kyle to be like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
As we talk about this movie. But the thing to remember is,
now, and you know what?
I got family.
I will tell you this one isn't written by Chris Morgan, so this one definitely has a different tone.
Wasn't this Justin Lin or Justin?
Justin Lin returned. Justin Lin started directing at Tokyo Drift in the third film.
No.
He did third, fourth, fifth.
I listened to the Movies That Made Me podcast with him, which was amazing. And he goes, "Yeah, it's like I was done with 6, and he goes, I was actually contacted by Vin Diesel while I was editing the Star Trek Beyond." And he goes, "I've got an idea." And he goes, "What haven't we done? What else can we do with the film?" And he goes, and Vin Diesel was talking. And so after a while, it came down where they finally got 9. He goes, "Okay, I'll come." And if they offered it to me, "You want me back? Okay, I'll direct it."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they had James Wan and F. Gary Gray fill in 2 films, and then Justin Lin took over. So Justin Lin kind of does a lot of callbacks to the original stuff. So there's like really great moments if you're a fan of the series. You see the origins of some of the things that have been going on. You get Dom's original fight that put him in jail. You get what's funny is you get the whole first film crew. You get to see them as kids.
Oh wow!
So it's almost like a Muppet Babies version of the Fast and Furious.
That's awesome.
I feel
Fast and Furious babies.
I feel like they planted those seeds.
Will make your dreams come true.
I feel like they planted those seeds to maybe have a spin-off where they're young.
Yeah, because they also put Michael Rooker in this movie for like 5 minutes. Yeah, they de-age him for a scene and then bring him.
Film?
Huh?
It's Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary fucking Poppins.
Yeah, so he's in it, and he's just like he's a supporting character, but he's great in just the few moments you need him in to kind of carry the story along.
That
at
is
least
awesome.
The believable story that's a part of the movie.
Okay.
Then you get into the whole plot device is Infinity Stones. No, it's
paperweight. They're paperweights. They're paperweights, not a
there are 2 parts of a circle that form together that are hardware that, if activated by a key, can control all the satellites and all the. If it runs on 1s and 0s, this will take control of it. That is the plot concept of what they're chasing at this point. Is if we get the key, this thing will unlock every satellite and we will control every weapon and every computer in the world.
Jesus.
And they have the best Elon Musk turd character in this movie. So you've got
That's awesome.
Yeah, you've got the financier who is obviously Elon Musk, and they play him like the pure piece of shit human he is in that movie, and it is so fun to watch. He is used by everybody in that film, and then he is even called Yoda as an insult.
Different tangent. Who's the bigger piece of garbage, Elon Musk or Bezos?
Yes.
God, that's a
hard one.
Yeah, that's a run for.
We actually had this conversation yesterday, just randomly, and I was just like,
Kyle was just pulling people at the door.
I'm gonna have to say Bezos, because he really truly does ruin the quality of life for more people than Elon Musk does.
Well, not even that. The thing is, I've heard nothing but bad things about Bezos. Elon Musk, I'm not saying he's not a bad person. I just haven't heard that much garbage about him. On a person, I'm not saying I personally have not heard that much garbage about him. That's what I'm saying. I've heard so much stuff, listening to podcasts, everything. Everybody's ripping Bezos, almost comparing him to Hitler. Whereas Elon Musk is he's a rich douchebag. That's about as much as I've heard about him.
Yeah, he just has a huge effect on the market, and he's like he has a lot of money to just fuck away with. And so to be like, he doesn't own SpaceX, but by influencing the market and the things it does, he fucks up a lot of people's lives. I
didn't mean to tangent that off, but you brought that up. Like they had Elon Musk douchebag character in the film, so I was just like, I wonder who's more of the dick bag here, And that.
Well, they set him up because Elon Musk is trying to go into space, and so is this douche canoe in this movie.
They're both. Bezos is trying to go into space too.
Douche canoe.
Well, in Fast and the Furious 9,
let's swing back into the movie. And
yes, that actually happens in the movie.
A car was just caught by a plane.
Yes. Okay, so never mind. I'm just
gonna drop gifts. I think this is just gonna be me dropping in gifts.
Yes. Boom.
Magnets, bitch.
Wait,
Magnets,
what
the?
Bitch. That wasn't
science.
That wasn't Vin on the top of the car, was it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Random henchman number 3.
What Vin does so great in all the movies is he's always better than the villain. And I think this is the first time him and John Cena are kind of on the same level because they're supposed to be brothers in the movie, which is even pointed out. They do take a lot of shots at themselves in the movie where like Tyrese has a theory. Like he's at this point in the movie and he starts talking to Ludacris about, I haven't died. We should be dead. Like I don't have a bullet in me. And he goes, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? And he goes, what if we can't die? Like, it gets more ridiculous and insane. They make fun of themselves, and that's the kind of the fun part that I really enjoy.
It's very meta that way.
You can't watch these films and take them seriously. You just have to go, these are unbelievable car films where they're doing, like you said, they should be dead. They should have been dead by movie 2, and they're not. So it's like,
Cypher is a villain at one point that's just in a glass cage. They just keep her in a glass cage to just be mean and talk shit. And when John Cena walks in and she's like, oh, so you're Dom's brother. I didn't know he had any Nordic blood in him. Like just the obvious different look of those two. And I mean, it's just so fun. And Cypher's such a great evil villain. I mean, she's just there to talk shit.
Wait, is that Charlize Theron's character?
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Oh, okay. She's back still? She's not dead yet?
She didn't die in the last film, so she's been kind of the main protagonist, but she is working for someone that we don't know yet.
Okay, so what is you said spoiler, so I'm just curious. John Cena's arc, is he a villain too, or is he somebody who kind of gets redemption in the film?
He's someone who gets
all
redemption.
Of that, everything.
Okay. Yeah, he starts off
in one movie. It usually takes more than one movie to rehab, but when John Cena shows up, that's right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Like he goes from heel to a face in one movie.
Sounds like WWE. How is he in the film? How is he in the film though?
He's fun. I mean, he's just a great villain. He likes to talk shit. He likes to be up in your face.
Okay, no, we had this conversation. We compared him to The Rock. We said The Rock has more charisma and acting ability than John Cena. Do you think this is a place where John Cena might start having that Rock, or he might have a better career going movie-wise, or do you think he's still going to be that one-trick hero who's going to be the same character in every film?
I think Suicide Squad is that film. I think that's why he got a Peacemaker deal. I think that character is the level of violence and humor that is perfect for him.
Oh, yeah.
I see his humor, and I like his character in this. But like, what was that movie, Cock Blockers, where he was?
I know what you're talking about. You haven't seen it though.
Yeah, it looks dumb, but it is pretty hilarious, and he makes it better.
Okay, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I've heard in that movie in particular, he's very fun. He's playing kind of like just a normal person, you know, and it just it shows off he's more than just his WWE roots, right?
Yeah, he is a super caring dad. He wants to be involved, and he's giant, and it's funny, you know.
Okay.
But I love him in F9. Obviously, he's probably going to be more part of this, and I want to talk about Justice for Han because Han is a character that died a few films ago.
Yeah, in Tokyo Drift, he was supposed to have been killed by Jason Statham's character, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right, and they retcon the shit out of this.
That's what I've heard.
And I were trying to figure it out because we were going, okay, so Jason Statham's character kills Han in the third film. Then Jason Statham becomes a good guy with The Rock and has a spinoff, but they don't really address the problem that he killed a guy that was friends with everyone. And Han's like the nicest guy, embraced by everyone, loved by everyone.
Well, in The Rock's defense, he wasn't friends with The Rock.
Well,
it's true.
True. But
Point Kyle.
But it's so weird to see, like, he was a villain. He was terrible. Him and his brother did kill people, and then The Rock has to kind of team up with him. That just seems really horrible. And so they explain their way out of him dying by saying that Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell, who works for a shadow agency, we're not sure what government, has faked his death. He goes, well, I worked with Giselle. She was good. And I saw Giselle with you. And I knew you were good because of that relation. So I wanted to recruit him. So we faked his death.
Oh my God.
That was it. And that's all they wrote out of it. And they said, because we were after a rogue agent. And they, instead of saying Jason Statham, they said Dom's brother, Jacob, is the rogue agent. And we're like, wait a minute. What happened to here? And they never clarify it until the cut scene at the very end of the credits when Han shows up at Jason Statham's place. So that's finally going to be addressed, I guess, in the next film or in possibly the next spin-off.
So the Fast movie franchise is a Marvel comic book?
Oh, very much so.
For a long time.
Very much so. I mean, there were people flying in this movie.
Oh my God.
That brings me to my buddy Eddie that went to the movie with us. And I hope he's watching because he gave me notes and he's like, how come you never give me a shout out? I was like, well, because you never give me any information to talk about. But he's a really big fan of the franchise.
Let's do a fast episode and have him on.
Yeah, I think we definitely could, but he's a fan because the things he told me, even though he liked the movie, he wishes they would go back to more racing. And I agree because there wasn't one, like normally every movie like slips in just like one fun race, like a race like
they raced down that mountain.
There was, but it wasn't for it wasn't for fun. It wasn't but
it was awesome.
No,
the car
I know.
Flew at the end.
But we want the race where it's like, at the beginning
when they win cars.
In Cuba. Or something like.
Well, I mean, Dom raced his brother and won.
Yeah, but that wasn't that was for like, you killed my dad, get the fuck out of here. So he just wants that. He also wants better cars, and I agree. The cars have gotten pretty they're cool cars, but they're not Fast and Furious, the original movie type of cars.
No, they're heavy duty. They're built for being
they're tanks.
Shot at and blown up and roll down hills and still be drivable.
And then the last thing we talked about is this movie did not have one single shot, that where the camera starts real low, and then there's the obligatory butt shot.
Yes,
as it moves and it pans through the party.
They have reduced the sexualization of the women that are typically every Fast and Furious movie is built around a car scene where they go find their people. We're going to go race with cars, and those people include a lot of hot young women in booty shorts showing tits and ass. And so they go to the place where it is in England, which they'd already revisited in another film, and they showed those people. But this was more of like a white party. So this had everyone's dressed in like.
Can you elaborate for Josh on what the white party means?
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this like a race thing? What's going on?
Puffy used to have, Sean Diddy comes with Puffy, whatever you want to call him. You had these white parties where everyone was dressed in white, and that was kind of the theme. And so they have this, instead of the booty shorts and stuff, everyone's kind of wearing really nice white gowns and suits. I mean, there is skin showing, but nothing to the degree of what they were showing in the previous films. It was more of like, these are rich people who are Fast and Furious.
Yeah. And, I'm glad you brought that up because I do have a mea culpa housekeeping item for the week. Clay and I shot the Heart of a Fall trailer reaction this week, and I was like, and we saw the names of the producers, and I was like, what the hell? Who the fuck is Sean Carter? And then somebody commented on the video because we talked about Jay-Z's involvement in the film. Well, I forgot that Jay-Z's
together.
Yeah, Jay-Z's real name is Sean Carter, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. So that's on me. I stopped being cool a long time ago.
but just to get to the point I really want to talk about the most in this film is after so the Elon Musk turd canoe launches his satellite into space.
Yep.
That is going to help control everything, and they need to somehow get close to it to hack it. They can't hack it from a distance, so they have to be
Why would they?
In space.
No.
So this is how they go to space. They go back to Tokyo, and revisit Han's old friends who are now hooking up jet engines to Fieros and trying to launch them.
Wait. Did you say Fiero?
Yeah.
Like the old car. Oh my god.
The old tiny Fiero that's just made out of just fucking plastic on the outside.
I used to love those cars back in the 80s. My friend's father actually had one in New York for a little bit.
Well, they get this car, or they go and meet and have the early exchange, so you can establish. Okay, so one guy's a rocket scientist, one guy's a car guy, and one guy's the test driver,
and one guy's Bow Wow.
And one guy's Bow Wow, who doesn't go by Twink anymore because they understand what that name means. And so Ludacris and Tyrese are now having to go into space to get close enough to hack this satellite. So they are in not scuba gear, but more like, what is it? Deep diver gear.
Yeah.
You know, so because they don't have astronaut suits, so that's the way.
Of course not. Why would they?
Don't have astronaut suits. So they put this gear on and are both able to fit into a Fiero that is taken on a jet with jet engines strapped all the way around to it.
What the?
Flown up into the upper atmosphere and then launched from there, and they go to fucking space. And they're in a Fiero, and they're like, "Where's the satellite?" Right there. Like, it just happens to be there. And they're like, well, what can we do? Because for some reason they can't hack it.
Their magnets didn't work. Their magnets didn't work.
Crash the car right into it.
Exactly. So Tyrese is like,
oh, so you've seen the movie.
So Tyrese is like, okay, you know, I had that theory. And
oh my God.
You know how I had that theory of we may be invulnerable, and Ludacris is like, let's do it, and they just fucking drive through the satellite in space and just fucking blow it up. And
wait, awesome. The car survives?
Yes, because one of the guys had been working on a ceramic polymer that covered the Fiero that's in space.
Oh my God!
They had to use the last bit of gas they had to shoot through there. So they were just going to be trapped in space.
Okay.
And
how do they get back?
Well, there is a space station that starts to communicate because they see the Fiero and they go, I believe is that a Fiero?
Oh my
God. Because
oh my God.
Josh is gonna die.
Oh my God.
So the U.S. space station goes, I believe we see a Fiero in space. And they both get out of the Fiero in the suits. And so, of course, because the suits are, they start to expand and they go, sir, I believe we see two minions coming out of a Fiero.
Okay, I gotta give credit. That's a pretty good joke.
I mean, that was a long setup for a minion joke, but it was pretty.
Yeah.
Good. Oh my God!
And so that's how they get saved. And they save the day. They stop the world from being taken over. Cypher.
What the hell?
Cypher gets away, so that kind of sets up the next film.
Of course it does.
You know, she's a great villain, though. She is awesome, and whoever she's working for, it better be bigger and better than her. And I don't know who that could be. But yeah, that's how they destroy the satellite in space. And
you drive a Fiero through it. Oh my God! They
drive a Fiero through it, and it's just the fucking best thing. And I'm excited because every one of these movies, you go, what can they outdo? And I mean, they do it multiple times. They have a scene where they're in vehicles driving on the border of like a mountaintop, you know, just on the edge, and then have to drive straight down the mountain. And they're all in the worst vehicles to do this. I mean, they're in a Dodge Charger for Dom, and it's just going up and down. Never gets destroyed, never really gets torn to hell like it would be if it was a real car. But they always reinforce them and make them bigger and better. So it was like when in the last movie, when they fought the submarine, there it is. The cars go between buildings.
Right, exactly. That's all I know.
But yeah, I had a blast. It was fun. It had great car races. It had good fights. I mean, probably the best fight in the entire series is The Rock and Vin Diesel. and now this is the second best.
There was a scene where John Cena is he's sliding down cables from roof to roof in the middle of Edinburgh, UK.
Of course.
And
the most
I was
insane,
like,
dumb.
well, and then he pulls out a fucking like bazooka type of deal to shoot another cable so he can keep going.
He
and I was like,
Batman.
Well, and then what I was thinking, I was like, fuck, I wish he was British so he could play Ninjak. Also, one thing I love is they're getting really good at catching people with cars.
Oh yes.
Like cars, like you could just catch people with cars, and that's
he
how
does
you
it
save
twice
them.
in this film, and it's happened in other films. Vin Diesel has flown and been caught by a car.
Of course, yes.
I know Josh is like not seeing any of these. I love seeing his reaction. It's my favorite thing.
It's like, okay.
That's what I wanted.
This is a $1 billion franchise, dude.
Yeah, that's what I wanted out of today's show. Just to see how bonkers.
That's not how physics works. I'm just
not
listen.
In the Furious.
Ludicrous random numbers. I like that even the person.
There's the truck. So this truck. This truck is the big transport vehicle for the bad guys.
Oh my God.
And so they do everything out of that. And so they have to stop the truck. And there's this huge magnet sub storyline where the magnets are in the cars and they'll turn them on and pull guns and shit into the road. And so they have to figure out a way to stop the truck. And they have two vehicles. They have that little shitty Mitsubishi car that John Cena is driving, who I'm pretty sure he can't fit in.
That's what I was thinking, Andy. When he got in the car, I was like, how did he get in there? There's no way he fits in there.
Well, it was like in Hobbs and Shaw, three people fit in a McLaren.
You know, on Daniel's description. No, I listened to some wrestlers' podcasts where they're talking about having to carpool with the Great Khali in small cars, so it's possible to fit that big of a frame in something.
I will say, I have never loved Tyrese more than in this movie. I don't think.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is probably his best since Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Oh man, it's already 11:48. Okay. The one last scene that you were talking about, I just wanted to wrap up, is the most insane scene for me. I mean, because I love all the bullshit. John Cena is ziplining through London.
Of course he is.
And each time he stops and he gets a new gun that's already there that he can zip line to another place. I'm like, well, why didn't he just start with the gun was already there? And it never explains. Just because Dom has to chase him in a car across London, of course, with no traffic while he watches him zip line. Then Dom gets out of his car and runs across the rooftops and chases him and catches him and tackles him in the air while he's ziplining. And that shit is badass. But watching him zipline through London, I was like, oh, that looks shitty. Yeah. Michelle Rodriguez, man. She goes on a motorcycle. She's fucking awesome.
Jacked in this movie.
You know what I look like? What it looks like th're setting up is an all-female Fast and Furious film.
They had. They introduced a new character related to Han. Kind of.
Well, yeah, you started with Letty and Mia, and then you added Ramsey, and now
what do we need to do to get Giselle back?
You don't. If you bring her back, then that just really invalidates everything because you've killed two people and brought them back in this series. Yeah. You killed Letty once and brought her back, and
Can I? All right, totally honest question, because you guys keep piling on more and more plot to this movie. How is it 8 hours long? Like, I can't fathom how long this movie is.
What is it? 2.5?
225 long. Yeah.
Good God! Because suddenly, like, I get all that, and Daniel's like, and they introduce a new character. I'm like, when did they do this?
I went to the restroom twice. I had to go to the restroom twice. I did drink a whole big thing of Coke, so it's my fault. But God,
What scenes did you miss? I know people were explaining.
So you just explain. So I left when the first one was when Letty and Mia were going to Tokyo. So by the time I came back,
that was another one that I was so fucking mad because it was just lazy storytelling. They had gone to Tokyo to look for Han because he had been dead. Now he's alive.
Wait. They went there looking for him when he's supposed to be dead?
Yeah.
Why?
They got coordinates. Well, I guess they don't know he's alive. They're looking for something he left behind.
They're trying to tie to him, but he had sent a postcard to Dom letting him know, because he had always had this story of Mexico, the place you go when in the old westerns, when once you've committed your big crime and you want to retire, you would go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And Tokyo was his Mexico. So they're sitting there eating ramen, and Letty looks up and she sees a Mexican flag at a window, and she goes, "I don't believe it." And that's his place. That's just how it happens. They go to eat ramen, look up and find a Mexican flag, and that's where Han is. Of course. That's how they find Han alive. And I was like, oh shit.
Wow, that is lazy. That is very lazy.
Yeah, but you gotta have more time for car stuff. So you gotta make the
Josh, you did ask how's this all happening in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, hey, totally fair point. That's on me. I admit.
It's happening very fast.
Wow.
But I did, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see how they're actually going to resolve the Justice for Han thing. Justice for Han, because I love Sung Kang. He's a great character in these films.
Yes.
And he's going to be showing up in the Obi-Wan series next.
Oh.
Now, Clay, I don't know if you had the time to rank the movies.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I do have one. It's on my Letterboxd. If you're not following me on Letterboxd, Echo Spider on Letterboxd. Really quickly, my favorite movies. After rewatching, I rewatched 1, 4, and 4 through 8.
How are there 10 films?
There are 10 films, including this includes everything in the Fast and Furious universe.
Yeah.
So my favorite
small
is
movies. You don't have the.
My favorite is 7, which is Paul Walker's last movie. I didn't realize how sad I get at the end of that movie until I rewatched the ending.
Yeah.
And then my second one, this was tough picking between these two, but I think just because of the emotional impact that this one. So Fast 5 is number 2. Fate of the Furious, aka F8, is number 3. This new one right now, I think because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
It's number 4. Hobbs and Shaw is number 5. The original Fast and Furious is number 6. 6 is number 7. 4 is number 8. Tokyo Drift is number 9. And then Too Fast, Too Furious is the number 10.
Bruh.
But I like them all a lot. But I think as far as rewatchability, which is a big part of why I like these movies, that's kind of where it plays out. So that's my list. I'll post it on Twitter, but you can follow me on Letterboxd.
Well, here, leave them up, and I can go through and tell you where you're wrong.
Okay. I mean, you can get your own Letterboxd. I'm just saying.
Fast and Furious 5, Fast 5, by far the best of all the films. I will put that on. That is like just goodness to me. That makes me happy. I enjoy the movie. It's a giant heist with all the pieces coming together, and it's fun. Furious 7, Paul Walker, sad.
Yeah.
And maybe F9 might be my third favorite. I really loved a lot of that.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw is the worst. That's the bottom.
Get out of here, Clay.
That's the worst.
That's it. Podcast over.
Podcast over.
I will put I'm gonna put Tokyo Drift
at 5?
At 4. No, it's gonna be Fast 5, Furious 7, F9, Tokyo Drift, the original Fast and Furious, then the Fate, Too Fast, Too Furious, Furious 6, and then the last one's Hobbs and Shaw. I just don't like Hobbs and Shaw because it just isn't Fast and Furious enough.
Probably a good thing.
Well, now I'm upset.
Those are great rankings for someone who has never seen them. I do want to say though, my favorite Fast and Furious film was Smokey and the Bandit, but really close to Cannonball Run. So yeah,
good call.
There's a movie called Fast and Furious from like the 60s.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So Roger Corman made the original Fast and Furious film, and it is really just a car race that is the majority of the film. Like where in this movie it's part of a story. That is part of a story, but the car race is pretty much the film. And so Roger Corman a few years ago gets approached and says, "Hey, we'd like to use your Fast and Furious title, and we'll buy it from you." Or no. I think they said, "Look, we can work out a deal, or we'll just use it, and then we can go to court and figure it out." And so he asked for access to the Sony vault of films, and he traded that name for that. Now, of course, that becomes $1 billion franchise. But he took that and made films from all the vault stuff he got. So he was able to turn that into a profit. I'll find the video and post it.
That's cool.
But yeah. So Roger Corman's tied to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Hey, we're remaking Point Break, but we want to call it your name. The name of your movie. Because we're doing it with cars and not surfboards. Or extreme sports or whatever Point Break was.
Surfing.
We will eventually have Kurt Russell in it. In the franchise, so
yeah, Kurt Russell is a great part of the franchise because he just comes in there and just kind of makes everything fun and explains everything in a cool way and says, "Oh, this is going to be cool as shit."
I almost forgot. My favorite part of the movie is Helen Mirren.
We have not talked about Dame Helen Mirren.
She needs to get her own spinoff, and I'll be there. Like
yes,
a short something. I love that the reason Helen Mirren's in this movie is because she loves these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She pursued Vin Diesel to be in a Fast and Furious film.
Yeah. And now she's like this just fucking amazing character that's she's so good. She's great.
She gets paid to show up in a gown, steal a necklace, and drive a car with Vin Diesel. And that is her whole scene. And it is like, how fucking awesome is that? And then in the last one, she does one scene with Vin Diesel where she just drinks tea. And then she does a scene with Jason Statham where she tries to make him feel guilty in the back of an ambulance. And that's it.
And then she has in Hobbs and Shaw, she's like in jail or something. So if you ever wanted to see Helen Mirren in an orange jumpsuit.
Right. Who hasn't?
What I would love to see is her talk about how she grew up with cars and do a 60s, 70s, and 80s storyline with her just telling the story and going back and using those cars and time frames.
Well, I think she was also really cool in Red, right?
Oh yes,
yeah.
She does have
so
some
like
great scenes in Red.
She's an action star, I feel. So, but all right, yeah, that's enough talk. We've gone really long now. So let's try to wrap up the show. I'm sure you guys have stuff to do. Or not, whatever.
Clay's like, nope.
So we'll skip question of the week because I don't have anything, and I don't think you guys have anything.
What's your favorite Fast and Furious character and why?
Oh man, I think
Burt Reynolds, mustache.
Correct answer, Kyle.
Brian, because he's a buster.
I got nothing on this one. I got nothing on this one.
All right, we'll give you The Rock as a default. Because he flexes out of a cast. Daddy's got to go to work. Or Helen Mirren too, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I mean that's the answer to everything. It's Helen Mirren. Yeah,
it's Helen Mirren.
Yeah,
Dame Helen Mirren. But let's move on to our recommendations real quick. We'll start with. I'm just gonna go in order. Well, I guess we'll. God damn it! I hate that I established this order now. I'll go first. Yeah, Black Widow Volume 1 by Kelly Thompson and Elena Casagrande. Like, go read it. I have a recommendation that's just for Kyle. There's a new comic book coming out this week called Godzilla Rivals. I think it's going to be like an anthology.
No. Yeah, okay, I'll have to check it out. But that gets me where my recommendation is. They just dropped it on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, nice. But my personal recommendation is and something I'm looking forward to this week because I love DC anthology books. The Green Arrow 80th anniversary 100-page special.
I need to read that. I didn't know it was out.
It'll be out next week. So it's not
okay.
Yeah. You know me, I like to recommend stuff I haven't read.
Of course.
So we all kind of go into it together. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, guys, you really need to read the Black Widow stuff. I think it may be on Hoopla already. The collection. So yeah, go check out the Black Widow stuff. I think you guys will. I think all three of you will enjoy it. And that's probably something that it's not very common that all four of us like one thing the same. There's usually at least one person odd out. So, but yeah, that's it. So let's go, Clay. What do you got?
I was just excited about that AMC movie rental for $150 to have that whole place to ourselves.
Yeah,
that AMC. I mean, it's in a very busy area that I thought would have more people in it. The theater was. I mean, just the theater itself was not that busy. I didn't see large groups like us. I just saw people, like 2 and 3 and a few theaters come in and out. When we went to get food, we were the only people in line. And for $150, that makes that theater really cheap and worth going. And it was clean. There was like, I don't know. It just almost felt like the air had been cleaned in there as well. Did it smell that way to you?
Yeah, except the outside where you get the tickets, it was pretty it was kind of warm. I think just because all the hot air from the mall, from the floor below, rises. But once you go into the actual theater, like past the ticket taker, yeah, it was nice. It was clean. Restrooms were clean. Like I said, I'm a child and I have to go twice during these movies now.
No. The movies keep getting longer. It's not you. It's the movies.
My bladder keeps getting smaller and the movies keep getting longer. English combination.
But it was just a great setup. I mean, I'm really paranoid about going out and being in large groups and dealing with, the cleanest person or the dirtiest person around you is what you have to depend on. Yeah. And you put this together with people who were already vaccinated, and that was the key thing is you wanted to know who you're going to the theater with. And
all these people. It was nice to see my friends too. It was nice to see my friends. I hadn't seen some of them in more than a year, so it was a very, very, very cool. And it was just nice to be out. I hadn't been out all day, like in a long time. And yesterday I was out till like at least 12 hours. I hadn't left my home for more than 12 hours at a time. So. I'm exhausted though. I'm fucking down. I'm gonna pass out after this podcast. I'm passing out. All right, Josh, what do you got?
First off, I have a pretty cool app I just started subscribing to. It's called Tiny View Comics. And it's pretty limited in the number of comics that they have. But what's nice is like they just added the bite-sized Archie. They just added the creative notes. But what's cool is for literally 99 cents a month, you're supporting these creators directly. And the app is set up where when you read it on the app, I'm not sure if you can see my screen, it's all formatted for your kind of vertical viewing like this. But okay. What I also kind of like about it is if you subscribe, every creator almost always gives you like a bonus panel that's exclusive to you, which is kind of cool as well. I like being able to support creators. One of my favorite comic artists right now is hang on. I'm going to screw up her last name. That's why I'm trying to look. It's Gemma Carroll. Gemma Coral, sorry, and she's on here, so I get to support her work here as well. This is cool, and again, it's not expensive. I feel like throwing them $1 a month is no hair off my wallet. To mix metaphors.
That's where you keep your hair.
Have you seen my head? Yes, it used to have hair up here. Now I just made my wallet out of it. And then finally, real quick, just another shout out to Outer Rim Collective in San Angelo. That's my buddy Cruz's shop. Go check it out. Great guy, great store. It's not big, but he packs a lot in there. So if you're in San Angelo, go see it.
Dope. All right, Kyle.
It dropped this past week. I was in bed. I didn't get much sleep Thursday night because I'm just going on Instagram trying to go to sleep, and I realized, Godzilla Singularity Point is now dropped on Netflix. All 13 episodes. Yeah, the animated, and it's a different take on Godzilla. But I watched a couple episodes, but check it out. It's gonna be
we did if you're watching this, we did a video for the channel when the trailer came out. And yeah, I'm excited. I didn't know it was out. I'm behind. I just finished Castlevania season 1. So
what they're doing with how they introduced Rodan and Jet Jaguar into the series, it's okay. This is a different take, but I'm enjoying what I've seen so far more than the 3 bullshit movies that were released a couple years ago. Godzilla, whatever that they released 3 animated films. Yeah, the animated films they released. I watched those, and those were just god. This takes a new point, and it feels like an anime series, but it's Godzilla, the world of Godzilla, and it's check it out. Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on this series, but boom, boom, boom.
Does it have any cars going through buildings?
I'm out.
Not yet. No, not yet. Not that I know of yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
If you ask me which of these properties had cars going between buildings, I'm gonna go with Godzilla. It doesn't make any sense that this would happen in Fast and Furious. Exactly. They're just humans and cars. I mean.
All right.
Let's look at Fast and Furious Godzilla. Godzilla? Sorry,
you're right. Crossover. I like
crossover.
It will happen.
Fast 12. Godzilla.
They want to do Fast Furious and Jurassic Park. So those are both Universal properties.
I did hear that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
He wants to do a musical.
I'm not opposed to anything, really. Just give me more. But bring back some more cars. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Kyle. Yes. Clay did drop a link in our YouTube chat, and we'll put it in the description. We have started a Patreon. It's not it doesn't have any tiers or anything. It's more of a tip jar. So if you enjoy what we're doing, or if you don't, but you still want to give us money, you can. Just drop $1 in there. We enjoy doing this a lot, but it does have some cost to make all these videos and stuff. But thanks everyone for watching. Thank you guys. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for putting up with Clay and I just ranting on about Fast and Furious stuff. You know, I don't consider you guys my co-hosts. You're family.
I have no friends, just family.
I don't have co-hosts. I have family.
Family right there with you, man.
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of Tyrese.
Yeah, I think the Tyrese one's staying on the board.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you're watching this later on, share, like, comment, subscribe. Leave us some comments on if you're local to Dallas Fort Worth. Did you go to either one of the conventions from this weekend, either Collecticon or the Dallas Comic Show? Well, if you're not and you have conventions happening where you are, tell us what they're doing, like to kind of get things back.
I'm gonna throw this out there: support your local con.
Yeah, for sure. If you want these shows to stick around and artists to keep coming back and hanging out, support them, because otherwise they're not going to be. They're really expensive and hard to make. Yeah, these shows happen. So
and a lot of cancellations really hurt a show.
Oh my God.
And that's happened a lot.
And then also keep watching our channel. We got a lot of stuff coming out. We had some really cool trailer reactions this week for a bunch of movies. And like I mentioned, I'm doing my Comic-Con, my Dallas Comic Show video. And we got some more fun stuff this week. And then whatever else Marvel blesses with. I'm sure we'll do a Black Widow thing once that's out. Anything else, guys?
No.
I can't think of anything.
Huh?
Let's ride then. Let's get out of here.
Let's ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Twitter loves you.
Oh yeah. Clay.
Hell, Bebo.
Josh.
My vagina is haunted.
All right. Bye.
All right. Yeah.